Thanks for joining us on Plus TV Africa. I am Benga Aborowa. Fire gutted a section of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation in Pogo Village by Ikoro local government area of Niger State on Sunday, with fire service officials still trying to put out the fire. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the Niger State Police Command on Sunday deployed armed personnel to prevent people from scooping petroleum products at the NNPC pipeline that exploded. The Commissioner of Police in Niger, Deba Yakadi, said the deployment became necessary in view of the rainstorm on Saturday night, which led to the explosion of the pipeline. He advised people living in the neighboring villages to vacate immediately, as the State Fire Service was still battling to put out the fire. The People's Democratic Party National Chairman, Uche Secondus, has invited presidential aspirants, governors, senators and other leaders to a meeting today in Abuja. The meeting is coming amid plans by leaders of the reformed All Progressive Congress to defect to the PDP. The presidential aspirants invited ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Governor Ahmed Makafi, ex-Minister of State Duties Taminu Kabiru Turaki, ex-Governor Sule Lamido and Ibrahim Shekarau. The session will discuss terms of accepting members of the R-APC, such as Senate President Bukola Saraki, House of Representatives Speaker Yakubu Dogara, and others into the party. Top on the agenda is the report of the former Governor Leo Imoke Contact and Mobilization Committee, which had been negotiating with R-APC and about 30 minor parties. The People's Democratic Party has charged President Muhammadu Buhari to immediately order the arrest and trial of the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, for alleged forgery of an NYSC certificate. The PDP urged Buhari not to protect Adeosun, as she has become the alleged character of the president whenever close allies or agents were found wanted on issues of corruption. The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Mr. Kola Olugbodinyo, alleged that the revelation had vindicated the party's position on Buhari's cabinet members. He said the president should also allow an open inquest into handling with Adeosun of all the nation's depleted foreign financial instruments, including the excess crude oil accounts from which he alleged were taken without recourse to the National Assembly. The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has deployed over 30,000 police personnel in Ekiti State ahead of the governorship election scheduled to hold on Saturday, 14th of July. Force Public Relations Officer Jimo Moshood said the police boss had directed that a robust and elaborate security arrangement be implemented in Ekiti to ensure peaceful, credible and fair elections. Similarly, the police announced that the restriction of vehicular movement in and out of Ekiti would commence from midnight of Friday, July 13th till the end of the election. When we return, we'll bring you news making the headlines across Africa and the rest of the world. Don't go away. And on the foreign scene, the senior special assistant to the President of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has expressed worry over the killing of another Nigerian in South Africa. The Nigerian mission in South Africa on Sunday confirmed the killing of Ozumba Tochukwu Lawrence by an unknown gunman. The Nigerian Consulate General in South Africa said that the incident was said to have occurred in Mpumalanga, South Africa on the 6th of July. The mission said Lawrence was shot 6 times before his assailant and died before he got to the hospital. Dabiri-Erewa said further inquiry over the Nigerian issue with South Africa should be directed to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The leaders of long-time adversaries, Ethiopia and Eritrea, agreed on Sunday to restore diplomatic relations after nearly 20 years and to open the border between their neighboring Horn of Africa countries. Ethiopia's reformist new Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed, arrived in Eritrea's capital and was welcomed with hugs and laughter by Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki, a joyous scene unthinkable just months ago. After being cheered by crowds in Asmara, Eritrea's capital, and holding private meetings, the two leaders attended a dinner and announced new measures. During a live broadcast on Sunday, Prime Minister Abiy and President Isaias said they had agreed to set up embassies in their respective capitals, while landlocked Ethiopia will be allowed to use the Eritrean ports on the Red Sea. Sudan's former Vice President Riek Machar will be reinstated in his position as part of a deal to end near 5-year-old war. This war devastated Africa's youngest nation, the presidency said on Sunday. The agreement was reached in talks held in Entebbe in Uganda, mediated by President Yoweri Museveni and attended by South Sudan President Salva Kiir, Sudan's Omar al-Bashir and Machar. South Sudan has been gripped by civil wars since 2013, when a political disagreement between Kiir and Machar exploded into a military confrontation. David Davis has handed in his resignation as the United Kingdom Secretary of State for exiting the European Union. Prime Minister Theresa May is expected to present a vision for the exit deal in Brussels in a week. Davis's resignation was first reported by UK's Press Association on Twitter. The full letter of resignation later appeared in the British media. The resignation comes as Prime Minister Theresa May has been criticised for the soft Brexit deal she's planning to arrange with the European Union. May, who is expected to present her Brexit demands to the EU on the 16th of July in Brussels, reportedly told her allies she was ready to sack Boris Johnson, a staunch Brexiteer, if he tries to undermine her Brexit negotiation position. And in Thailand, 8 boys and their soccer coach who remain trapped in a flooded cave in northern Thailand are waiting for rescue operations to resume today. The first 4 unidentified boys freed are said to be in good health and recovering in hospital. The daring and dangerous bid to rescue the boys aged between 11 and 16 was suspended by the mission chief late on Sunday to replenish oxygen supplies and make new preparations, which he said would take at least 10 hours. Authorities have said the mission could take 3 to 4 days to complete. Divers had to hold the first 4 boys close to their bodies to bring them out, and each had to wear an oxygen mask to enable normal breathing, authorities said. We'll bring you business reports after this. Do stay with us. And in business, the capital expenditure part of the federal government's fiscal plan has been described as unrealizable by Moody's Investor Services Limited, or Real Mali. A senior analyst at Moody's said although there was an increase in capital expenditure as seen in the signed 2018 budget, it will be under-realized by about 50%. He also condemned the recurrent delay of the annual budget signing, as he said it will impede infrastructure development in the economy given its level of importance. For him, economic growth is better stimulated through the implementation of about 90% of capital expenditure. Currently, in the 2018 budget, capital spending accounted for 31.5% of the entire expenditure. Still ahead on Plus TV News is our roundup on sports and entertainment news. We'll be back in a moment.
In entertainment, Canadian rapper Drake's new album Scorpion has made history by becoming the first ever album to hit 1 billion streams within a week from across all streaming platforms worldwide. Prior to this achievement, Post Malone's album titled Beer Bongs and Bentleys with 700 million streams held the worldwide record for the highest number of streams. One of the tracks on the Scorpion album titled God's Plan is also the most streamed song of the year, earning 1.121 billion streams, making it the only song to top 1 billion streams in 2018. An upcoming artist, Analike Okezie, known as Yoko B, has accused popular Nigerian singer Two-Face of song theft. He claims the recent song released by Two-Face titled Amaka was stolen. According to him, he was shocked when he discovered that they had stolen the title, concept and message of his song, which was released 5 months ago, and that he had been trying to promote it with the little resources he had. He claims he was already negotiating with Avalon Okpe to direct the video when Two-Face released his own version of the song. Two-Face's manager, Efe Omoregbe, was contacted by reporters, and his response was that he could not comment on what he wasn't aware of, since this was the first time he was hearing about this. Other sources say Yoko B is looking for cheap publicity. American R&B singer, songwriter, dancer and actor LLoyd has surprised the public by releasing his new album cover in the nude. It's not the first time he has done something shocking. In 2010, LLoyd cut off his signature long hair and donated it to charity. In 2012, LLoyd was allegedly involved in a vicious assault of a local father in front of children in a suburban playground in New Zealand, and reports say he narrowly escaped prosecution by fleeing the country the following day. His latest album consists of 11 songs and will be released on the 31st of August. And that's it on entertainment, the very best in sports, right after this.
And this is Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko with the update of happenings around the world of sports. Athletics Federation of Nigeria, the AFN officials have cancelled the All-Nigerian Athletics Championship taking place in Abuja, and following the protest of athletes over the lack of adequate welfare and failure to redeem outstanding allowances as they demanded for a meeting with the AFN board. And this was confirmed by the body's technical director, Sunday Adeleye, who said that the decision to cancel the event was reached by the AFN board after an emergency meeting. And the All-African Senior Athletes Championships, which started in Abuja on Saturday, was initially expected to be the national trials for athletes hoping to represent Nigeria at the All-African Athletics Championship billed for Delta State in August. And the protesting athletes also criticized that their representative on the AFN board over the failure to represent their interests appropriately. And the event was supposed to end today. And still on sports, angry soccer fans in Brazil rained stones on the team bus that conveyed the team on arrival from a quarterfinal crash out at the Russia 2018 World Cup. And the 2018 World Cup was supposed to be a redemption for Neymar and Brazil. Instead, they crashed out of the quarterfinals against Belgium, and the team bus was greeted by fans throwing stones in disgust. And now over to transfers. Brazilian midfielder Paulinho has returned to Chinese Super League side Ganju Evergrande on a season-long loan. And Paulinho had joined Spanish champions Barcelona from Ganju Evergrande in a €40 million deal last summer, and has rejoined the club on loan with an option to make the transfer permanent. And his loan move was confirmed by the Chinese club on Sunday afternoon. And Paulinho first moved to Europe in 2013 when he joined Tottenham Hotspur from Corinthians in a £17 million deal. And over to Formula One, Sebastian Vettel of the Ferrari won the British Grand Prix in an action-packed race that saw Lewis Hamilton fight back from behind to finish in second position. And Hamilton drove superbly to recover from a first-lap collision with Vettel's teammate Kimi Raikkonen. And the result hinged on two late race safety cars when world champion Hamilton's Mercedes took a strategic gamble. And Hamilton is 8 points behind German of Sebastian Vettel in the championship, which is as tight as ever as the season approaches its halfway point. And Sebastian Vettel is in the lead with 171 points, ahead of second place Lewis Hamilton, who has 163 points. And Kimi Raikkonen is in third position, and Lewis Hamilton's teammate Valtteri Bottas drops to fifth position. And after 3 races in a row, Formula One has a weekend off before the back-to-back German and Hungarian Grand Prix on the last 2 weekends in July. And Hamilton will want to go into the summer break reclaiming the championship lead, but doing so will not be easy. And in tennis, talking about the Formula One, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Serena Williams will all be in action on a manic Monday at Wimbledon. And defending champion Federer faces French 22nd seed Adrian Manarino, while two-time champion Rafael Nadal plays Giri Vasily. And 7-time winner Serena Williams, the favorite for the women's title, will play Russian qualifier Evgenia Rodina. And 3-time champion Novak Djokovic will play Karen Khachanov, while Gael Monfils meets 8th seed Kevin Anderson. And Karolina Pliskova, the only remaining women's top 10 seed, plays world number 20, Kiki Bertens. And that's all on Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
That's our news roundup of events. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. Do join us. I'm Benga Aborowa. Have a great day.